Next, we're going to take a look at watermarking. When exactly do you want to watermark something? Well, if we're teaching this slideshow to our students, we don't necessarily need to have them watermarking things. You might want to watermark something that was going off to some kind of contest, or it was going to be put up on the web so that someone couldn't steal your images and then reproduce them and make something from them. But for the purposes of this particular slideshow, we wouldn't necessarily need to watermark anything. But just in case, let's take a look at watermarking. So over here on the right-hand side, we see a little checkbox that says watermarking. And to the right of it, we have a choice of none. And I've got a couple of presets that we've already made. And then this one, edit the watermarks. Now, if I back out, you'll see a little dialog that says Watermark Editor. We've got some options. Again, like we did before, we could choose a graphic. We could go and get something that we used from Photoshop or from Illustrator where we've created some kind of design, a graphic or a logo. But for the purposes of this, we'll just use text. Now, right now, it's using a preset that I created a while ago, but we don't need to use any of those. We can even delete the presets if we wanted to. So I'm just going to delete that. And we can come back to a custom preset. Now at the bottom of this, I put my name and a little bit of a copyright symbol. I'm just going to back that up, and I'm going to put Amanda's info there. So we could actually have her copyright, or the copyright symbol in her name, as a watermark someplace on this image. So what would we like to do? Well, we're going to use the text. So we don't need to choose a PNG or a JPEG. Remember, PNG is a file that will maintain or retain, excuse me, its transparency. Or a JPEG is just another image that we could use. So we're going to skip over that for now. The text options, here's your font, the style, where you're going to align it. You can have it left, you can have it center, you can have it right. Wherever you think you might want to put it. You can change the color of the text by clicking on the little box right there and choosing a different color. I'm just going to leave it at white for now, and I'll close that little box. You can have a drop shadow of some kind, and you can change the opacity of the watermark. And usually watermarks are translucent in some way. We're going to make it say around 50% or so, something like that. You can have it be proportional, or we can make it a lot bigger. We can even say fill or fit. Okay, then we can also have it be horizontal or vertical. And where do we want to anchor it? Do we want to anchor it in the center, to the left or the right? Now, if we had it smaller, we're going to hit proportional there. If we had it smaller, you'll see we could go bottom right, top left, center, etc. And we could move that little slider to make sure it gets to be big enough, and go back and change the opacity again if we want it to be just a little bit soft. It's kind of in there, so that somebody would have to do a little bit of Photoshop work if they really wanted to save this image. You could rotate it, etc. If you like the way that this looks, you can certainly say, you know what, I'm going to just hit save, and away we go. Or I could come up here and say save the current settings as a new preset. So I could click on that and call it Amanda Cody copyright. All right, and say create. So now we know that this one looks just like this. Every time we want to apply that, that's the way it's going to go. It's going to be proportional, it's going to be in the center, etc. So I'm going to say done, and there it is. If you don't like it, you can always come over to the right-hand side here and turn it off.